Welcome to the Smarter Science of Slim, the scientifically proven program where you eat more and exercise less to burn fat and boost health.
Eat smarter, exercise smarter, live better. I am so ready for that.
Hi everyone, this is Carrie Brown. Jonathan's laughing at me again. And Jonathan Bailor.
So here's a dirty little secret on how Carrie and I record our podcast. So we actually share a microphone because I'm Polish and I'm too cheap to buy two different microphones. And so I thought I was doing the intro for the show. So Carrie and I, skulls were on this collision. We both dashed for the microphone simultaneously. So we almost had an epic collision.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, Carrie. I didn't wear my helmet today, so have mercy on me.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about two things, Carrie. First of all, we're going to talk about our awesome upcoming Creative Live course, which is amazing. Then, tomorrow is Halloween. So while this podcast is not going to air on Halloween, it will air approximately in the Halloween time frame. And I know we talk about sweets and candy and then Halloween is applicable. So let's talk about Creative Live. Let's talk about Halloween and just general goodness like that.
Awesome.
First,
I don't understand Halloween, by the way. I'm British. I didn't grow up with Halloween. But anyway, you can help me with that.
Do you have a Halloween-like experience in Britain?
No.
No, there's not like a...
There's nothing. No pumpkins, no dressing up, no trick-or-treating, no candy. It's just a day.
It's just all business all the time. Getting things done. Britain stuff.
I think, to be honest, before all our British lovely listeners write and tell me I'm crazy, I've been...
Well, lovely listeners, that may or may not be true regardless of what Carrie's about to say right now.
I've been gone for 13 years, so I believe that there is a bit of dressing up going on now, and maybe even a few pumpkins, but for when I was there, Halloween was a nothing.
No, totally fair. Well, dear Brits, we love you anyway.
Yes, we do.
Speaking of love, we are about to have just an experience I'm super, super excited about, and I'm in love with. It's this cool company called Creative Live. And while you're like, oh my God, Jonathan and Carrie sold out, look at them shamelessly promoting this thing. Here's the awesome news. So here's how this actually works. Carrie and I are going to go in a studio in downtown Seattle and record in front of a live studio audience 2 days of sanity and eccentricity. And you can watch it for free live online. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. And you'll be able to make your own mind up whether Carrie Brown is really crazy.
Yes. So day one, the way it's going to be broken down. So this is November 11th and 12th. Is that right, Carrie?
That's right.
So November 11th and 12th, it's literally 8 hours, I believe, each day. And we're just going to dominate. We're going to do eccentric exercise demonstrations. We're going to get the audience involved. Carrie, you got a bunch of awesome cooking planned, correct?
Yep, I'm cooking like the mad Swedish chef.
And we're going to have a live studio audience. We're going to go through a bunch of awesome research and science. And I tell you, in 2 days for free, my goal is to empower as many people as possible to take 2 days and really just transform their life, because we're going to go over just a massive, massive amount of stuff. And it is 100% free to watch live, which is amazing.
And I'm going to prove that eating sane is easy, simple, and freaking delicious.
And I have been instructed, and I think Carrie's been instructed to curse at least 3 times during her segment, which I don't think she's actually going to curse, but we'll have fun. And also, we've been instructed to make good TV. So, that means we're going to get a little bit riled up. So it's going to be fun. So to get more information on this, again, it's 100% free to watch live. Just type in Google or Bing or whatever your search engine of choice is. Creative Live, that's all one word, creative and live, and then type in Calorie Myth, because the name of the segment is the Calorie Myth, or type in Creative Live Jonathan Bailor, all that fun stuff. You'll find it. You do need to register, so register, and then you will be able to watch it 100% free.
Yay!
Woohoo! Very, very exciting.
Very exciting. It's been a while since I cooked on TV.
Yes, when...
And the last time I cooked on TV, it was all chocolate all the time. So this is a bit of a departure for me. This is going to be interesting.
This is like Carrie's grand return, and she's made like like when Madonna came back out and she like completely reinvented herself. This is like Carrie's rebirth.
Yes.
Her sane rebirth.
Yes.
Carrie Brown, the sane edition. Moving on. So Halloween. Halloween is upon us, friends. And as we know, as Carrie already said, while the Brits might not be trick-or-treating, here in the States, there's a lot of trick-or-treating happening. And the reason I wanted to talk about Halloween this week was because a question I get asked, because you know how I feel about sweets and candy and such, are like, do I participate in trick-or-treat? When I have kids someday, will they trick-or-treat? And yada, yada, yada. All those kinds of fun questions.
Okay.
So, Carrie.
Forgive me for not being excited about Halloween.
Carrie is not a big Halloweener. She's been a Halloweenie.
I give out little tubs of Play-Doh when they come to my house.
Oh, you really do?
I really do.
That's funny, because Angela and I are trying to figure out what we're...
Go to Costco, they've got these little tubs like this of Play-Doh, and they're just fantastic. You probably won't be very popular with the children, but...
Yes, we were going to give them all little bits of guar gum. Just a little... No, that's not a good idea. So, but here's the more general discussion point. So people say... Like, two questions. Jonathan, when you have kids, will you allow them to trick or treat? I don't know is the short answer to the question. Generally speaking, I think I would err on the side of the more you outright prohibit things, it's been my experience that people will just do them more. So I think my general approach to this problem of sweeteners being treated as a harmless indulgence when, they're not. Like, cigarettes aren't treated as a harmless indulgence. And I personally don't think sweeteners should be either, considering that they're also proven to be permanently damaging and potentially even more addictive. In fact, there was that recent study, Carrie, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a study out of the University of Connecticut that showed that in rats, the white portion of Oreos actually activated more of the addictive circuitry in their brain than heroin.
Fantastic! And we sell how many Oreos in this country?
Exactly. Like the rats that actually preferred the whites in Oreos to heroin, which
Oreo double stuff. That's why they invented Oreo double stuff, because they know.
So here's the thing, friends. I would imagine that if my child wanted to trick or treat, that they would. I would not say no. You can't trick or treat. Like, that just seems like a recipe for disaster. However, my approach, and again, I'm not a parent right now, would simply be to. My mother did a really good job of this, Carrie. My mother would always tell me, like, she knew what was important to me. She knew when I was a little kid, I loved Superman. Like, I would dress up in Superman out. Like,
I've seen one of those pictures.
You've seen the picture?
I've seen that picture.
So
he was very cute, Superman.
So I'd wear my little Superman outfit, and my brilliant mother would say, because I was growing up, and actually up until a few years ago, I really disdained vegetables. And she would say, Jonathan, do you want to be big and strong like Superman? Well, if you do, you should eat your vegetables, right? So she found something that would resonate with me as a child, and then helped me reach my own conclusions. And I would absolutely, it's a holiday, it's a celebration, it's a treat. I could absolutely see that happening. I think that the key thing is to keep in mind that it's a holiday, it's a celebration, it's a treat. But Carrie, it is a tricky situation, because, for example, I have friends that only smoke in social settings. They're not addicted to cigarettes, and they only smoke on special occasions. Now, I would never recommend that someone smokes on special occasions. If they want to smoke on special occasions, none of them are probably going to die of lung cancer, because they probably smoke a total of 6 to 12 times per year. And when they do smoke, they smoke 3 or 4 cigarettes. That's not going to give you lung cancer. And having candy on Halloween is not going to give you diabetes. But would I ever recommend it? No. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's not it's never, I want to make sure that people don't see it as an extreme position. It's more just a position of rationality where it's true. Smoking occasionally is terrible for you. I don't think we would ever recommend that someone should smoke occasionally. If someone wants to smoke cigars every once in a while during celebrations, are they going to get mouth cancer? No, they probably won't. Does that mean it's okay? It's not okay. It's just not going to kill you, right? I mean, you could probably suck on the exhaust pipe of a car every once in a while and it wouldn't do anything bad to you. That doesn't mean we recommend it.
I don't think that would taste very nice.
Well, have you ever tried smoking a cigar?
By proxy.
It doesn't taste very nice either.
It doesn't taste very nice either.
So, but Carrie, do you have any suggestions for if we are going to participate in trick or treat? Do you have any ideas of how we could do that without handing out candy?
Well, there are a not insignificant number of companies now, if you search on the internet, who actually do make sugar-free candy. So there's the makers of xylitol, actually Xyla themselves make a whole range of sugar-free candy. There's whole websites dedicated to getting sugar-free candy. So, you know, to make it as real as possible for your children, that's the route I would go. Can't believe I said route instead of route. I don't know what's the matter with me. That's what I would do. That would be my starting point. I don't have children either. So I will never be faced with this problem personally, but that would be my starting point. And as I say, the children that come to my house get toys, not sweets. They do get, I wasn't joking, they really do get little tubs of Play-Doh and fun things like that, rather than, because they've already got a lot of candy in their bags. So, you know, I don't feel bad about giving them something a bit different.
Carrie, I think you made an excellent point, as always, bringing it back home. I think I got a little too metaphysical maybe, and that's this whole sanity lifestyle is never about deprivation. It's just about doing things smarter. So again, Carrie, I so appreciate you bringing this common sense element because, yeah, absolutely participate at Halloween. Just do it smarter. So if at all possible, use sugar-free candy. Use candy that has, natural non-caloric sweeteners in it. There's no reason to not have Halloween. Let's just sanitize Halloween.
That's what that will be where I would start. But then again, if it's really difficult for your children to be without, it's good to have it. I grew up in a house where we only had chocolate and sweets for 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year. And that has helped me as an adult because it's just not something I did all the time. It made the Christmas holiday time special because that was the only time we had that stuff.
And I think it also helps, Carrie, when I don't know if this actually fits, but the old parable where someone catches their kid smoking and they say, okay, I'm going to make you smoke this entire box of cigarettes, and then it ruins it. Having like the very infrequent and candy overdose is, I would imagine, a better approach than like giving the kid a little fun-sized candy bar every single day. Because again, once the child can experience what these things do to them, and maybe that's an interesting teaching point where if you allow the child to overdo it in a very controlled fashion, and then the child feels like garbage, you can say, wow, see what those kind of things do to you. And granted, the next year they're still going to want to do it again, but I would imagine on some level, subconsciously, they're not going to think of candy as this forbidden fruit, which then will make them want it even more. And two, they'll just say like, wow, this is a pretty powerful thing. I don't actually like the way it makes me feel. And if you can really drive home that mind-body connection, that could be a pretty powerful lesson.
So just an aside, while we're talking about Halloween and candy and sugar, I have a little pop quiz for you.
Pop quiz.
Just for Jonathan.
Woohoo!
So here's the question. What happens if you go sane and you stop going to the dentist?
Is this a joke?
No.
So it's not like a nun, a rabbi, and a priest walk into a dentist's office?
No.
Okay, so what happens if you...
Go sane.
Okay.
And stop going to the dentist? Say for 2 years, you don't go to the dentist.
And this is not a recommendation. This is a hypothetical.
No.
Okay, no, I have no idea what happens.
Nothing. Nothing happens.
I'm so confused.
So I went sane 2 years ago. And for reasons that are completely unconnected with that, I stopped going to the dentist.
I'm glad you said reasons that are completely because I thought there was some relationship.
None. So, but I went sane at about the same time as it just fell off my to-do list and I didn't go to the dentist. Anyway, I went to the dentist today.
Yep.
2 years and nothing had changed in 2 years. My point being, I have been sugar-free and grain-free for 2 years. I think that's pretty good going, that there's no extra work. My teeth were in the exact same condition they were when my dentist last saw me 2 years ago.
That's amazing, Carrie. And yeah, it really is a great reminder that we often think soda, candy, these kinds of things are bad for your teeth. Keep in mind, though, that, for example, milk, there's lactose in that, bread, oatmeal. We talked about steel-cut oats the other day. All of those substances are still containing many of the quote-unquote ingredients that can lead to tooth decay, plaque buildup, and the aversion of those. That makes a lot of sense, Carrie, is really going to be not only great for your metabolic system, but awesome for your dental system, which I just made up. But
so if you needed another reason why sugar and grains just aren't the best thing for you, if you hate going to the dentist, stop eating sugar.
And that is actually one of the archaeologically one of the most interesting arguments brought up by evolutionary biologists and fans of the paleo movement and just sociology majors around the world is noting how in fossil records of human skeletons right around the advent of agriculture. So depending on who you ask, 10,000 years ago to 12,000 years ago, when grains and sugars and such were introduced into our diet, you'll notice that the fossil records, the dental records, changed dramatically, and that tooth decay was much less common, potentially even rare, prior to the advent of those foods, simply because just like you can't get diabetes if you're not releasing insulin, you can't get cavities if you don't have the raw material which spawn that development.
Well, I got to tell you, I was very happy with my visit to the dentist today because I shouldn't have been, but I was a bit nervous thinking, wow, I haven't been for 2 years. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to be sitting in the dentist chair for the next 6 months. And yeah, no, none of that. Yay.
And it is another, I love this, Carrie, because that's just another example of, I'm on this soapbox recently about the more I think about this scenario, just all of this insanity, and I use that word in both senses, both lowercase and uppercase insanity, is this hypothesis we've been given in our culture, which is that we're somehow broken or inadequate by default. So even think about your teeth. Like, we all believe that the natural course of things is for our teeth to deteriorate. Says who? Like, that's actually, if you look at fossil records prior to the advent of agriculture and the starches and sweets into our diet, our dental health was robust, basically, automatically. Like, why? It's so sick and sad that we've been convinced that the default state of humans is one of gradual deterioration, when that does not at all have to be the case. And this is just one more example of that. So that's just, Carrie, you're getting many stars today. You're on point.
Yay! And a final note just on that is that not only have I been not eating sugar and grains, but I have been eating xylitol. You all know, if you've been listening for a while, that my sweetener of choice is xylitol, and xylitol actually helps to protect your teeth. So it's not just that it isn't sugar, it also does things to protect them. It doesn't, xylitol doesn't mold and decay like sugar does. So that's actually another plus one for xylitol.
Yeah, so it's not only are you avoiding, like, not only are you not putting your hand on that hot stove anymore, But when you enjoy a lot of Carrie's SANE sweet treats and you practice safe sweeteners using and this is specific to xylitol, it's like you're applying that neosporin or that healing salve to your burnt hand. And if that sounds a little bit too good to be true, just hop on over to PubMed. PubMed is a free database for peer-reviewed scientific research. Type in xylitol and dental health, and you will see copious amounts of peer-reviewed studies showing that xylitol is it's not only non-deleterious to dental health, but like Carrie said, it is actually therapeutic, which is great.
You just say it so much more eloquently than I do.
Well, I think we've both had our shining moments in this week's episode.
Yay!
And the moral of the story here, friends, is don't suck on the exhaust pipes of cars.
That's a very good moral.
and eat xylitol, because the first thing will make your teeth devastated, and the second one will heal it up.
There we go. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! And please check us out on Creative Live, November 11th and 12th. And again, just search in your favorite search engine for Creative Live, all one word, and Calorie Myth. And remember, eat smarter, exercise smarter, and live better. We'll chat with you soon.
See ya.
Wait, don't stop listening yet.
You can get fabulous free SANE recipes over at carriebrown.com.
And don't forget your 100% free eating and exercise quick start program, as well as free, fun, daily tips delivered right into your inbox at bailorgroup.com. That's BAILOR group.com.